Yo, 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 what is good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of NBA to the Galaxy podcast, presented to you by DS and Media, as well as your host, myself, Slim. You can follow me on X at R2R30111. You can follow your other host here, Scotty John. As you can see by the title today, guards in the East who really runs it. We're going to be talking about some of the best guards in the East in the league today. Guys like Tyrese Maxey, Kay Cunningham, Jalen Brunson, Spider. You get the memo. And we're 30 days away from the trade deadline. So it's always fun around this time of the year to discuss different trade rumors, our thoughts and perspectives on different teams, what they need to go out there and get over that hump and compete at a high level. But nonetheless, before we dive into any of those topics, my guy Scotty, how you feeling today, bro?
I'm feeling good, brother. I'm happy to be here with you on this fine Tuesday. You mentioned it. We're getting into the thick of the NBA season. I think for me, the cool thing is we're getting close to the end of the NFL season as well, man. And once NFL ends, I am like really locking in on the NBA this year. So I'm excited for
Yeah.
that, like breathing room. Right now, it's just like sports every day. But like once NFL ends, I'll be able to just lock in, focus on hoops. So I'm excited for that. But I think this is an interesting part of the season because we're starting to see which teams are going to be real, right? Or which teams can we like buy stock in as the season goes on. And it's interesting nonetheless, bro. But happy New Year. I think this is our first show since the New Year, right? Or am I tripping?
Second.
Second Friday.
Uh,
We went
yeah,
live
yeah,
Friday. We went
yeah,
live
yeah.
Friday. My bad. I couldn't remember if it was the Wednesday before or the Friday after, but still, it still all means the same. Happy New Year,
Yeah,
my brother.
yeah. Happy New Year,
Um,
brother. We do it.
but you mentioned it, man. We starting at the top with Trae Young.
Yes, sir. Trade deadline, bro. Big headline came out yesterday. Trae Young and the Hawks are actively working together on the trade. This could be the first major domino to fall for the trade deadline market. And when you think about it, man, we had discussed this a few weeks ago
Yeah,
about the rumors speculating, but it officially came out yesterday that it's actually true. So I'm saying that let's dive right into it. So uh, the Atlanta was expected to push higher in the East, but they struggled in the games that Trae Young has played this season. They also point to their defense. Their defensive rating gets significantly worse every time Trae Young steps on the court. And so, it's kind of like not surprising in a sense because we all know that Trae Young not a defensive type of player.
yeah,
But the contract situation as well, he's making $46 million this season. He has a $49 million player option for the 2026-27 season. And so they wasn't able to get on the contract extension this past off season, leading to this season. So I'm saying that's a lot of things speculating. But this team definitely look way better when he's not on the court. Guys like Nikhil Alexander Walker, he stepped up big time. Jalen
yeah.
Johnson, he's been doing this thing. And so they just look like a totally different team. So what are your thoughts on that? Like, is this a win breakup for the Hawks, or you think they should kind of hold on to him, or should they just move on? What do you think about that?
No, I think that's a great question to start here. And I think that's where the conversation has to start. And to answer your question, I would say yes, absolutely, they should move him. I think the writing's on the wall with him. I think he's always going to be what he is, which is a defensive liability. And and this is a conversation we can get into with some other guards as well, but I just don't know with a guy that is a defensive liability being your lead guy towards a championship. I don't know if you can win a championship that way. You look at SGA, for example. Yes, he's the MVP, scores 30 points per game, but he straps up as well. He gets in the passing lanes. He does all the dirty work, just like the rest of his OKC guys. And Trae Young is just a guy that has never done that. And to be quite honest with you, bro, I think he may have peaked already. I think he peaked as far as his NBA career. And it was when the Hawks were making those playoff runs, and maybe it was 2 years in a row where they had like John Collins and Bogdanovich and Trae Young. When they knocked my Sixers out of the playoffs in the second round and went to the, I believe, the Eastern Conference Finals that year. I think that was Trae Young peaking. He was surrounded with like length, defensive talent around him. And I think that's as good as it gets with Trae Young. So all that being said, I do think he still has value to some teams to where the Atlanta Hawks can get something of value back. So while I say and sound like very negative around Trae Young, he is a guy that's led the league in assists. He's a great passer. We know that. He's a guy that can handle the ball as a lead point guard for your team. I think he just may be better suited on a team where he can be like a third option in a sense, rather than that number one go-to option. And let's be clear, he's not that for Atlanta anyways. Jalen Johnson is that at this point. So yeah, I think you should move him. What do you think though? Like, I know you ran through it, but like, what are your thoughts on the situation there?
Yeah, here we go again. But nah, he definitely can, bro. I mean, I think it's time to move on. I mean, the writing is on the wall for sure. You said it best from that perspective. I mean, he's been with this team 7 years, and in 7 years they had their moments. To your point, they made it to the conference finals that year, but
Yeah,
ever since then, man, everything has been going downhill for that team, for the organization as a whole. So I'm saying that's definitely time. Like, I give kudos to Trae Young. He has had one heck of a career with those guys. I got a
yeah,
stat right here. It says that Trae Young has 245 more made threes and 971 more assists than any other player in Hawks franchise history.
that's
And so
crazy. Yeah,
that says a lot right there in his own right.
good
You
numbers.
know,
Yeah,
yeah, it's good numbers, but it ultimately hasn't translated into anything over his career being there besides going to the conference finals that year. And the numbers don't lie. Like, this team looks so much better when he's not playing. They
yeah,
was on an 8-game losing streak, and the moment this man got out the line, they started back winning. And so I'm saying that it's just time to find a new start, a new chapter in his career.
yeah.
You the Hawks, you definitely making the right move. Handing the keys over to Jalen Johnson. I mean, he didn't stay at Duke long. I mean, whoever knew that he would turn out to be this type of player? Like,
And
he's
yeah, to be fair to that point, he didn't even I think that was COVID year. I don't even think he finished the season. Like, he did not play in the tournament for Duke. So to that point, like, nobody even got to see him on the biggest stage at Duke that season. So yeah, I don't even think me as a Duke fan, I didn't see it coming.
Yeah, so if you the Hawks, man, you trend in the right direction. Jalen Johnson by far can be an all-star,
Yeah,
type of player in this league for many, many years to come. Dyson Daniels, defensive ace. You hope, man, you really, really hope that you hit on the head with Ricochet though, because he has not looked promising to be a number one overall draft pick, if I'm being honest.
I feel
So,
that.
maybe you can kind of reevaluate with him, see how the next 2 years go, move him or not. But the
Hey,
fact of the matter is the Trae Young era is officially over in Atlanta.
can you package him with Trae Young? Maybe get something better that fits the
Yeah.
team better. I don't know. Just something to think about, right? He's a
Just
young piece.
imagine if they would have drafted Castle. Man.
Probably should have. Yeah,
Look
you
at
could probably
you.
say that for anybody that drafted whoever they drafted before Castle, but no, I do feel you. I think it's time. Let me ask you this about the situation. Do you think that Trae Young made the wrong decision waiting this long to try to get out of there?
Great question. I don't think so, because when you look at, a player like Trae Young specifically, it's kind of hard to envision like which team he fits really well on. Like, obviously they have to cover up his liabilities, and there's only a few teams in the league today that can do that without them having to give up a lot. I think with teams like Minnesota, Miami, they can cover up a lot of his ground defense. So I think that he didn't make the wrong move by doing that. Him
Yeah.
staying loyal and them trying to figure it out, I think that was the right way to go.
Yeah, I feel that. It's kind of like the Dame on a lesser scale, obviously, out in Portland. But like,
Hmm.
can you fault Dame for staying in Portland that long, buying into the city, buying into the organization? I saw this comment. You'll get it. Tune in to the rest of the show and you'll understand. You'll
For sure,
understand
tap
where this
in.
show's going. So
Yeah, tap in.
tap
We
in.
haven't got we haven't gotten that far yet.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. But I do appreciate that comment because it kind of leads into a certain part of that conversation, which I think is going to be interesting. So
Mhm.
appreciate you.
Yeah, but yeah, man, the Trae Young era was officially over.
Yeah, that is crazy, bro. I believe I saw in it. This was on the Sleeper app, so I got an update from the Sleeper app. It said that the Wizards were a team that were
Oh
showing interest
yeah,
in him.
yeah. It would be like a package centered around CJ McCollum. That's what they said. So
How do you
um,
feel about that?
I feel like it could be a good move, more so from the perspective of like you saving money because CJ is on an expiring contract. So
Ah,
maybe you can trade for CJ some draft capital. In that sense, maybe another young player that hey, can do wonders.
that is interesting. No, I didn't hear the CJ McCollum part, but yeah, that makes a ton of sense. And it gives them some veteran leadership in Atlanta.
Mhm.
Because they should make the playoffs this year and get some experience. So no, that makes a ton of sense, man. But we'll see what comes of Trae Young, man. It's only a matter of time for sure.
Yep, it's only a matter of time. Speaking of Trae Young, man, let's pivot over to the trade deadline, man.
Yes, sir.
Trade deadline is February the 5th, 30 days away. Well, 29 days away, technically from this day. And this is when teams start talking and things of that nature. Buyers, sellers, teams lying to themselves, so on and so forth. Who's more desperate, who's patient. But the real question comes in like, what's more valuable, in your opinion, this year? Trading for a star or depth? If you go back to last year's trade deadline, one thing was proven that honestly, there's only like a small, I wouldn't even say group. There's only three names in the NBA that's untouchable. After that Luka trade, that kind of proved that,
Yep.
there's only three. So I'm saying that what you think is more valuable, depth or trading for a star?
Mm, that is such a great question because you brought up the Lucas situation, which kind of counters some other trades that may have been made at the deadline last year. And Luca, it's like hard to argue that you wouldn't rather have that superstar than like some depth, but
Mhm.
ultimately, I think it does. I think that depth is better. I think it means it's a better sign for your future if you are looking to add depth rather than a star. And I say that because usually that means you already have your star in place. You're not searching
Mhm.
for another star to come and join them. You just want to add depth around them. And I think that's something interesting to look at, especially as you look across the top seeds in each conference and how deep those rosters are. Look at OKC, for example. Now they've built in a little bit different of fashion. They did have like the one free, or well, I think they trade for Caruso and then sign Hartenstein in free agency. Is that how? I know
Yeah,
they signed Hartenstein. Did they trade for Caruso?
they traded Josh Giddey to get him.
Ah, duh. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Josh Giddey in Chicago. That makes sense. So you look at that type of situation and you look at OKC and the depth that they've built. Is J Dub a star or is he a depth to you? Like, I don't know. Like, I guess that's kind of where my head goes. Like, do we consider, and I'm thinking about the Knicks as well, and I think you could say Cat's like closer to being a star or is a star. I think that's fair to say, obviously, given the production. But you look around New York and the way they've kind of built their team and the success they've had the last few years. Is that depth or is that star? Like, I guess you traded for the star with Cat, but then added depth with Mikal Bridges and OG. Like, they're not stars, right? They're role players. They're like
Mhm.
really good role
Yeah,
players.
great role players.
So, as I work my way around that question, brother, I think that's my answer. It's not even depth or star, it's a really excelled role player, a guy that knows his role when he's
Yep.
coming into that team. And
Mhm.
it all just connects the dots because that's what I'm thinking about with the Sixers right now and what they could possibly use at the trade deadline. It's not a star, and it's not another guy that could compete with like a Jabari Walker at the end of the bench. It's a
Mhm.
guy that's going to come in and lock down that 4 spot in the starting line. And I think that's the best type of trade you can make at the trade deadline because I think that shows you're headed towards a championship run.
Hey, that's
What
what's
about
up,
you?
man. Me myself personally, bro, I'm gonna have to go with depth on that front. Like, I prime example, I had to bring this up. Like last night, you seen what the Denver Nuggets was able to do. Having those guys like on the back end come in ready for the opportunity, took advantage of the opportunity. I mean, those guys were going crazy. They couldn't miss. Last night, my Warriors against the Clippers, you got guys like his last name, Kobe Sanders for the Clippers.
Yeah,
I'm not too familiar with his game, but he gave us 20. And the other guy named Miller, he was pretty solid. And another example, like OKC, they've been struggling at last 12 games. They're like 6-6. But the fact of the matter is, I wouldn't panic if I were them. It just goes to show you how great the league is. Like, it's just so much
yeah,
talent. Like, guys, like 12, 13 man in a rotation, like they can go out there and get you 15
yeah.
with the right given situation. So in saying that, I think depth is the way to go for sure over a star because you don't want to be too dependent on the star because anything can go wrong. Come playoff time, you want to have that depth for sure. Just being able to plug and play guys in different scenarios, different matchups,
I do
uh,
agree. Yeah,
depending on who you're going up against. So,
I
yeah, I'm
feel
gonna
that.
go with depth on that.
I want to ask you because with that in mind, right? We just talked about Trae Young. We talked about the Wizards. That is, if they trade for Trae Young, is that not the Wizards searching for their star? What do you think about that? Like, is because like I think of Trae Young and like while yes he should be headed out of Atlanta, I think Atlanta will be better without him and whatever they get in return.
Yeah,
If you're the Wizards, on the other hand, Trae Young's the biggest star that you've had since John Wall, Bradley Beal.
yeah,
Am I tripping? Like Bradley
yeah.
Beal, not John Wall. John Wall left before Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal was a superstar, led them to the playoffs, so on and so forth. Since Bradley Beal, he's got to be the biggest star that the Wizards would end up having. So it's like
I think so.
to sell tickets, you know what I mean? Like you got to start somewhere, and it's not a bad
Yeah,
move for them in that case. I do think it's like dependent on
the
what you already
situation.
have,
Yeah, yeah,
obviously. But yeah,
true.
if you're trading for depth, then that probably means you're in a better spot. Like the Warriors, for example, you're not going to be trading for Jimmy Butler this trade deadline.
Right, right,
You hope that you're in
exactly.
a better spot by trading for some depth to add to Jimmy
Right.
Butler and
Yeah.
Steph. So I feel you.
Another, yeah, but another example, Dallas that year when they went to the finals, they had Kyrie and Luca
It's a good
went out there and
example.
got PJ Watson and Daniel Gafford made all the way to the finals.
Yep.
So yeah,
Role players matter a lot. Yeah.
yeah, it
I think
definitely
I've
do.
seen that on the opposite end as a Sixers fan. I've watched role players kill the Sixers, the Josh Harts of the
No,
world,
trust me,
the
trust me.
John Collins of the world. Like that shit, I've watched them kill us in the playoffs, man. They can win you playoff series, as crazy as that sounds. They can
Yeah,
win you one game in a
yeah,
playoff series, which
yep,
can win you a playoff series. So
yeah.
it's crazy to
Right.
think about.
First guy that come to my mind is a guy like Derek White. Like
Yeah,
he
yo, oh my God, yeah. Bro, that is a great example. That is a great example. Like, is he a role player?
can, or do the Boston Celtics make him look like a role player?
You know what I mean? Like, because he puts up superstar numbers sometimes. He can have
Yeah,
superstar
sometimes.
nights.
Yeah, he can. He
He's
can for sure.
he's like the elite of role players. He is like
Mm,
one of the top. He's got to be top 3 role players in the NBA.
yeah, for
If he's
sure.
a role player, I don't even know if that's fair to call him that, man.
Mm. Yeah, it's kind of hard to like classify those guys because Derek White one no dude. He could pop out for 30. You know,
Right,
like
right. So I don't know. Yeah, it's interesting. He's definitely he is. If he was on the trade market, bro, everybody would be trying to get him like he is
man,
a
I'm telling
superstar.
you, bro.
So
His value is so high, but that's pretty much it on trade deadline. Though shifting gears over to the title of the pod, guards in the East who really runs it. So man, you know we got Brunson, we got your guy Maxi out there, Spider, my guy K been going crazy.
yes,
K
sir.
Cunningham averaging 26 points per game, nearly 10 assists, second in the NBA. Brunson just about 30 points, 6 assists. Tyrese Maxey, 31 points, third in the NBA, 7 assists. Spider, 30 points per game, top 5 in the NBA. The fact of the matter is, you get the memo. These are some bucket getters, and rightfully so, willing their teams to win each and every night. So in saying that though, like, who runs it? Tyrese, Cade, Brunson, Spider. Who really runs the East, man? Guard talk. My guy, the Wizard said, "K, y'all trolling."
Cade, y'all trolling. I do feel it because I know Cade's not in the graphic, and you know I think that's what they're getting at, and I understand that. I think to answer your question right now, I think Jalen Brunson runs the East right now. I think that is
Mm.
fair to say.
Okay.
I think he's led his team. Well, no, the Cavs, Spider, the Knicks beat the Cavs. I'm tripping. Why am I forgetting the finals last year?
The Pacers and the Thunder.
Pacers beat the Knicks to go to the
Oh, in the
finals.
East. Yep. Yep.
Beat the Knicks. Okay, so and then the Cavs lost in the first round, right? Because D. Mitch was injured.
Well, they was dealing with injuries, Mobley, all those guys,
Right.
Garland, all those guys.
But I think D. Mitch, he like played in maybe the first 2 games and then missed the rest of the series. And then
No, he was playing in it though. He was playing.
Maybe I'm getting that confused with the past season. Nonetheless, I'm giving the nod to Jalen Brunson. They just won the NBA Cup championship as well. They went to the Eastern Conference Finals last year. It's funny, a guy, you just mentioned the Pacers that slipped out of this combo just because he's injured right now, but Tyrese Halliburton is in that combo as well.
1,000%.
But obviously him being injured right now, you can't, there's not much to talk about there. I think Jalen Brunson runs it right now. I think Tyrese Maxey is the most underrated of all of these guys that we're mentioning. I feel like he's not talked about enough this season when it comes to MVP, when it comes to like top guards in the East. And I do get it because Cade, Spida, Brunson, they are fantastic. And quite frankly, Brunson and Spida have gone to higher elements than what Maxey has. But I just think this season, Maxey has arrived. You look at the numbers, he's in top 5, almost everything. The shooting percentages are elite. He averages like 1.8 steals per game. Might have increased to 2 after last night because I think he had like 4 steals. He's just been balling. He's been leading the Sixers. He's taken over that spot from Embiid. So that's more me just wanting him to get the respect that he has. The reason, and I'll be out front and transparent, I made this graphic before the show. And I made it like that for a reason, because I do agree. I think Cade is on a different level than all 3 of these guys. And that's no disrespect to them. It's just what God gave Cade. And that was physical size, along with the skill set that he has to put the numbers up that he does. He's better than them. Like, at the end of the day, he's going to be able to guard up compared to them, right? And I look at Jalen Brunson specifically. I think he is defensive liability, right? And maybe he's fighting not as much. I don't think Maxey's is a liability as much as Brunson. But what's funny? I'm curious what's funny there.
Yeah,
I'm curious who likes.
Hey, tell us what's funny. Say LOL.
I'm curious which one is his guy, because I must be dissing someone. I'm not dissing anyone in reality. I do just think Cade is the best of the best when it comes to East guards, and maybe I'm crowning him too early. But he's what, 6'7"?
I mean, the way I look at it though, bro, like Detroit is literally sitting first in the East right now. That says a lot. Like, team success matters when we talk about, the best guards in the East, and not just individual performances, stats, so on and so forth. Your team winning definitely matters. And with all due respect, we've seen Brunson in the playoffs. He has done his thing, but defensively, man, he gets picked on possession after possession. Spider, he does his thing, but it's never enough. Maxey still got to get there to that level.
He's got
get some more experience on his belt. But Cade is coming, bro. He's coming hard for real. So, in saying that, I would have to agree. I think Cade is the guard who runs the East for now. I mean, conversation like this is always interchangeable because, to your point, Halliburton, you can't forget a guy like that. Next season, he's going to come in, and you never know if Trae Young may lock in redemption type of season next year. LaMelo may get in that conversation, but for now, I would have to agree that Cade Cunningham is for sure the guard that run things in the East.
And you brought up a good point with Halliburton, because I think the unique thing for Halliburton and Cade Cunningham, I think they are unique from the group because they do something like completely different. Cade, the size, the playmaking ability, the defending, like everything that goes with being a Detroit Piston right now, right? He's leading that culture flow. You look at Halliburton, he can score, he can shoot, but he would love to give you 20 assists a night rather than score, right? Like, he loves to play make. Okay, yeah. Okay. I don't know why they was laughing. They agree with us. Yeah, okay.
You say K can't shoot for real? I mean, K has gotten better. I'm shooting, I say.
But K can't. Okay, yeah. No, I think we agree. Because I think that's a different conversation. If you talk scorers, Cade's after all 3 of those guys. Scoring. Just scoring.
per scoring, sure. Per
Scoring the
scoring, yeah.
basketball. Yeah, just scoring the basketball simply. Those guys are better at Cade than that, but he's
But we
probably
talk
better
about
than him at
we
everything
talk
else.
about all around though.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Rebounding, playmaking,
Everything else.
defending.
Yeah.
You know it. He got the total package, and that's honestly a cheat code to have in a point guard. Honestly, like
It is,
to do
man.
all
And how
those
old
things.
is he?
Okay, Cunningham like what 23, something like that,
24. He
24.
probably just turned 24, but yeah. Yeah. I feel you. I really do. And this isn't where I thought this combo would go, but I just had to just put that out there with the comments that are flowing in. Because, like, no, I'm not an idiot. Like, I know.
Yeah,
Like, I know what we're
legit, bro.
looking at here for sure.
Yeah, K legit. They gotta get him man his props though. Like the Pistons were the laughing stock of the league like a few years ago. Like they sucked.
Yeah.
Now look at them, the number one seed in the East. He never complained about it. He just put in the work. And now this team looked like a totally different team from 2 years ago. So
Let me ask you one more question because I think it's perfect timing. We got a Boston segment for a Boston fan here. It's gonna be a funny one too. How do you feel is in regards to the East guards versus the West guards?
the East guards versus the West. Off the top of my head, I think the West is significantly better. Now we're not talking about strictly point guards though, right? We're talking about guards in general.
That's a fair point. Yeah, I don't know because like shooting guards in the East.
Because if you're talking about guards as a whole, then the West definitely got them beat.
Devin
But
Booker,
point guards in general, maybe there's a discussion. You got
yeah.
Steph, Luka, SGA. Shoot, who else I West? I'm missing somebody. You get the memo though, so yeah.
You got Ant-Man, you got Devin Booker. I mean, I'm sure the list goes on, right?
Yeah, you got Shaden Sharp, Ja Morant, James Harden, Keontae George. Can't forget about Keontae George.
Jamal Murray.
Hey man, Thompson is now point guard. So
you got Fox out there. Yeah, no, you're not wrong. I think there is levels. That's why I asked, because it feels like the East is getting better in a sense. Interesting. Luka's dropped in the rankings.
Yeah, the Western Conference, man, is just built different.
It is. Yeah, I do agree with you, brother.
Yeah.
Because, like, Derek White, like, just because the Boston fan is here, I just wanted to look up, like, Derek White's numbers. Like, where does he rank in Eastern Conference guards?
Like guards as a whole, or just like shooting guards?
I don't know. Like, that's what I'm trying to think of, like, shooting guards in the East.
Yeah, Derek White. You got who is it? Josh Hart or McHale that starts at the 2 for the Knicks. Well, you got Desmond Bain. You got Norman Powell.
You
got Spider. You got Josh Giddey. Is Kobe White?
Is Jaylen Brown still a small forward even when Jason Tatum's back? I think he is, right?
I think so, yeah.
I thought so.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say like does Josh Giddey or Kobe White start at the 2 for the Bulls? I don't know.
I look at Giddey as more of the point guard just because of his playmaking prowess, but I'm not sure.
Yeah. Well, Kobe White would be the 2. He's a bucket getter. He give you like 20 a game.
Scoring guard, yeah.
Then you got
when you do all guards, I think to that point we can't name like any shooting guards that come close to Anthony Edwards, for example. Like,
I mean, unless you're talking about like Spider, that's about it, honestly. Shooting guard.
Right. Spider is a shooting guard. Yeah, you're right. You're right about that. That slipped my mind. It's interesting though. The guards are in a good spot in the East. I think we got some great ones up there though, nonetheless. And yeah, the conversation didn't go where I thought it would, but nonetheless, Cade deserves that shine, and that's why I did set the graphic up like that, so we would have this moment to kind of like give him his shine that he deserves. To your point, so but start talking about my man Maxey in the MVP combo. It's hard to come over here and say that after they lose to the Nuggets last night.
It is. I mean, Maxey has MVP.
Come over here and say that.
I mean, Maxey has Maxey has MVP level nights. He's top 3 in scoring right now. But MVP becomes a combo of elite numbers, team records, seeding, consistency, plus availability. So the debate becomes: is Maxey having an MVP type of season, or is he having a first team All NBA guard season? I know you want to give maximum love in MVP talks. He's pretty much having a career year if you think about it. He's pretty efficient to average 30, 31 to be exact, top 3 in the NBA. That's pretty elite for a guard anyway. So I think that you can kind of float his name around MVP talks. I wouldn't just say he deserves to be in there,
You know
but
what
I
it
mean,
was?
he can be in the mix.
You know what it was though? I'll be completely transparent, and maybe I get clowned for it. I've said it on other shows. Watching Tyrese Maxey go up against Jalen Brunson, I don't see how you can come out of that matchup thinking that Brunson's better than Tyrese Maxey. I really don't see how you can come out of it. Watching them go head to head, when was it? Saturday night, I think, or Friday night. I come out of it. I'm looking at both of their game plays, and Brunson is he's very good. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not like degrading him, but Maxey's just so much quicker. He's so much more athletic. Like, the only thing Brunson does have on him is like go-to moves, and Maxey is developing those as we speak. So I just think by the time Maxey especially gets to that age, he's going to be clearing Brunson by a mile. But I think even right now, Maxey is. Yeah, I think he's. What is Brunson? He's like 28, 29.
Yeah, he's somewhere in that element.
29. Maxey is 25, so he's 1 year older than Cade. He's got 4 years on Tyrese Maxey, but for my money, I think Maxey's better right now, honestly. That's where the idea of the combo came from, just for transparency. It is hard after last night, though. Not winning no MVPs when you lose games like that. So,
yeah, for sure. Anything else on the guards in the East?
No, nothing else. I appreciate this comment, though. Thank you. I appreciate.
I see you just put it back up there. I took it.
I didn't see it. I didn't see that. I'm sorry. I missed that. But thank you. I appreciate that validation of a bit there.
Can't really get to your head. Shifting gears over, man. We still in the Eastern Conference, man. I must publicly admit this. I owe the Boston Celtics an apology. They're killing a 4-game winning streak, 82 in their last 10 games. They're the second seed in the Eastern Conference, and man, the reason I owe those guys an apology because initially to start the year, we do our yearly predictions. And I had those guys being like a playing team for real. I didn't think that they'd be relatively this good. They're heating up at the right moment. Jaylen Brown having a career year. He is a guy, in my humble opinion, that should get some MVP love.
Absolutely.
The way he's been kind of rallying the troops. Derek White has been very consistent this year. Defensive ace who can go out there and get you 18 plus points on any given night. Simons has been very, very promising. Nice addition off the bench, providing that scoring. Payne Pritchard having a career year. True testament to putting in the work and all about opportunity, what it can do for you. Cater, the center, he's been relatively solid as well. I think he's having like a career year. So the fact of the matter, Joe Mazzulla, man, he's doing a phenomenal job having those guys ready over there, locked in, and they're just playing together. No agenda basketball, everybody just locked in and playing the right way. And it shows. I mean, they're the second seed in the Eastern Conference. And it's kind of a scary sight if you think about it in a sense. You want to get too ahead of yourself. But there is a 6'10 light-skinned brother that may be on his way back this season that plays for the Boston Celtics. So just want to issue an apology out to those guys, man, for real.
No, I feel you. And, I let you do the apology because I don't think I had them that low on my list, but I definitely was sleeping on them to this extent that they're playing. They're second in the East right now. You mentioned it. I think Joe Mazzulla. Like, I'm not trying to be like a meat rider or nothing here on the Boston. I hate the Celtics, to be clear, but Joe Mazzulla is working some magic with that roster. You look at some of the guys that are in the rotation heavy. Luka Garza, he's been, on a few teams in the NBA trying to find his place in the NBA after having a very successful college career. He's starting to look like a real role player for the Boston Celtics. Who's this guy? Walsh.
Jordan Walsh.
Just full on skinhead bald boy. He'd be out there hustling. I was watching him against the Clippers in that game the other night where Jaylen Brown drops 50 points. They play really good team basketball, and they look like they're really, really well coached. So I like your point there about Joe Mazzulla, because coming into his tenure, I think maybe I discounted his like impact a little bit, because he did lead that team to a championship, right? Like he did that.
Yeah, he was the head coach for sure.
I think I accredited it to at the time I accredited that to the Boston Celtics roster and their construction and everything Brad Stevens had built up until that point. But now looking back on it, yeah, I think Joe Mazzulla was a big part of them getting over that hump with his coaching strategy. He seems like really locked in. He seems like a player's coach. Like he seems like he probably gets along with the players really well. And yeah, I hate it. I hate it. I hate that the Celtics are still outperforming the Sixers in the East without Jason Tatum. But you mentioned Jaylen Brown. I think top 5 MVP candidate right now with the last like month and a half that he's had. It's been ridiculous. So I think with them being second in the East, to your point, records and standings mattering as well as the stats, I think he's got it all checked off the box. Got all the boxes checked off, excuse me. So it's interesting.
Yeah, I mean,
does a Celtics fan accept your apology? I guess that's one of the questions.
Well, I mean, honestly, I could care less. I'm just letting it be known. So it is what it is. But I do have a question for you, though. Is it a testament to how good Boston is, or is it an indictment on how inconsistent the East is outside the top teams? I don't want to take nothing away from the Celtics, but at the same time, the Eastern Conference it's been that way. Honestly, it's been inconsistent for the past couple of years. Top 3 teams kind of be interchangeable to an extent. But you do know who the top 2 teams were for a long period of time. Boston always been in that mix. Cleveland worked their way up in New York. But it's just a testament to how good the Celtics is as a whole, or just the complete opposite?
Well, I think it's a little bit of both. Like it's not just that the Celtics are this good and Joe Mazzulla is this like legendary coach. It's not just that. It is also that you have teams like Orlando, you have teams like Cleveland that are simply underperforming, right? If you come into this season and you think Celtics without Jason Tatum, and then you think of Orlando Magic with adding Desmond Bane, right? You think of the Cleveland Cavaliers just continuing what they started last season and picking it up where it left off. And you think of those teams higher than the Celtics without Jason Tatum. So you take those 2 teams, put them below the Celtics, then this is how you get them up into the top echelon of the Eastern Conference. If they were where they're supposed to be, what the Celtics would be. Well, technically the Knicks are below the Celtics too. So I do have to give a ton of credit to the Celtics though at the same time. Like the depth is showing. The Anthony Simons signing is working out, him coming off the bench, being that scoring punch. But I do think it is, to your point, a mixture of inconsistency. I talked to you about the Sixers before the show. You win that game last night, you go into tomorrow night's game against the Wizards, that could be 5 dubs in a row if you just beat the 3rd-string Denver Nuggets team. But no, they go out there, they lay an egg because they're inconsistent. So I think that's like a glowing example of inconsistency in the Eastern Conference, to your point.
Yeah, I have to agree. Not to take nothing away from the Celtics. I mean, they earned to be where they are right now. I mean, they play hard all year, and they've been proving a lot of guys wrong. So, in saying that, my man said K in the discussion. Hey, a lot of guys on the K way right now.
They love Cade. I respect it. No ball. You know ball. Just understand those guys are on the graphic because Cade is on a different level. He's not really in the combo. I think he clears these guys. But yeah, to that point, running the East, it would be Cade. So yeah, it's fair comment nonetheless. Appreciate you.
Yeah. But before we get up out of here, my brother, we got to do the weekly Who You Got segment, but it's going to be a little different. It's going to be the ceiling edition. You know what I'm saying? The ceiling edition.
We don't do ceilings often.
Yeah, we don't. Not who is better right now. Not who has a better chance to make the playoffs tomorrow or next week. Who has the better ceiling? And today we're going to be talking about the Washington Wizards and the Charlotte Hornets. Which team has the highest ceiling in the next year or 2? So when you think about the Charlotte Hornets, we mentioned young pieces like Melo, Brandon Miller, Musa Diabate, the rookie Ryan, Zion James, Con Knippel, man, what a rookie he is. They got some nice quality vets too. Miles Bridges, Colin Sexton, Grant Williams. When you flip things over to Washington, Alex Sarr, Balia Kalabali, Kayshawn George. Man, they got a lot of Trae Johnson.
Yeah.
What's the other one? They just start with a B.
Carrington. Where
Bob
is? Oh yeah,
Carrington.
there he is, Bub Carrington.
Bub Carrington. Sorry, Bub Carrington. Yeah, I mean they got like a lot of young pieces over there, bro. Corey Crisper, Cam Whitmore, C.J.
Yeah.
McCollum, Chris Middleton, the vets. The fact of the matter is, you get the memo. Which of those two teams has the highest ceiling in the next year or two? Charlotte Hornets or the Washington Wizards, my brother?
It's such a good question, man. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna say the Wizards. I'm gonna say the Wizards.
Okay.
The reason I'm gonna say that is because CJ McCollum and Chris Middleton, they won't be there in the next few years. They're just guys to get them through this transition season, whatever you want to call it. I love Keyshawn George. I love Trae Johnson. And it's not to say I don't love Con Knippel. That's my Duke boy, but I love those guys over there in Washington. And then you got these guys that are going to turn into, for my money, really, really good role players. Guys like Koulibaly. Sarr has shown a few signs this season as well that he's going to come around. Bub Carrington, he's shown flashes at times. But Trae Johnson is maybe my favorite one of them all, coming out like where he came from as college. Just that pure scoring ability that he has. I think he and Keyshawn George could be the future stars of this team, which as I'm talking about that, I'm like, should they trade for Trae Young? Maybe not. But yeah, nonetheless, I look at the Hornets, and the detractor for me, bro, is actually LaMelo Ball. And I say that because at least the Wizards in a few years, now maybe these players pick up losing tendencies, right? You do need to build winning tendencies even in these losing times. So they could end up in that place. But the Wizards at least don't have somebody that is, I'm trying to word it without like completely disrespecting Lonzo Ball. Or not Lonzo, LaMelo Ball, excuse me. He's not a winning basketball player. He doesn't play winning basketball. So until you detract that, because he's their leading star, he's their best player right down there in Charlotte, he's going to control things when he plays. Until you detract that, I don't know how good they're going to be as far as winning. Whereas maybe the Wizards can swing a trade over the next year or so, bring in a quality vet star, and maybe lead these guys to a higher place. So I guess the answer to your question, the Wizards, and it's because I think they can probably get to the middle of the East before the Hornets can. I don't think either of them are going to be like competing for a championship soon.
That's what's up. Me myself personally, I'm going to go with the Charlotte Hornets. And before I dive into like deeper reason, the first reason because I predict LaMelo will not be on this team in another year or two.
That's fair. Yeah.
The fact of the matter is, if Con Knippel finishes the season not playing the way he is, they're going to hand this guy the keys, and they should. Not Brandon Miller, not nobody else. Con Knippel is the guy you build your team around.
He's a winning player. Yeah.
Yeah. He's a winning player, and it translates. Like he plays the right way.
Yeah.
Brandon Miller has gotten much better with not forcing the issue, just playing within the flow of the offense. So, but no, I think that they're in a great piece. They have guys that can flip. Guys like Miles Bridges, he's been on the team for a while. Maybe they move on from him. I don't really see the point of him being there at this point.
Good point.
So I just look at the other young piece. I didn't mention Trae, man. He's a good piece. Saloon, he's a nice sophomore, second year in the league. I just like the path that they're going, man. Like Con Knippel is a guy you could definitely build your team around and just grow in a sense. So not to take none away from Washington, they both in the same boat. When you talk about ceiling, who knows what a guy like Alex Sarr could be next year. Like he may start the season off just on one. You seen the way Jalen Duren started the season off. Like the man put his name in a lot of elite conversations. So it's saying that I look at the Hornets as a team with the highest ceiling the next year or two for sure.
I think that's what makes it a great question, brother. Yeah, I don't think there's a wrong answer. Um, Brandon Miller, you said that name. I watched him play the other day. I think it was against the Warriors actually. I
Last
watched.
week,
Yeah, it was like last
it was a
Saturday or
it
something.
was an early game. It was like New Year's Eve. Yeah.
Yeah, I did watch that game because I ended up laying con threes prop. So that shit catches all the time, by the way. But
Con.
nah, I got to watch Brandon Miller. He is nice. I like his game a lot. Yeah, it's close. It's close. Get LaMelo out of there, get some nice pieces in return, and yeah, maybe they can spring themselves into the Eastern Conference playoffs. I can see it.
Yeah, I think LaMelo time is kind of up down there in Charlotte, man. He's been there like 6 years, so
I
I
agree.
think it's time, man. With all due respect, So
I agree, brother.
yeah, but that's pretty much it, man. Unless you got something else you want to kind of say.
No. Well, obviously, I don't know. We could possibly get in another show before the end of the week. We'll see how things play out. But yeah, we're getting into the heart of the season, man. The trade deadline's approaching,
Trade
All-Star
deadline, yep.
weekend approaching. So it's only going to get more and more fun as we get into the new year. And saw some new names in the chat
Yeah,
today. So
yeah. I'll go
definitely
check them out.
appreciate
Yeah,
y'all.
yeah. Michael Thomas, Carter's got rocks. Uh, shoot, the Wizards phase. I mean, we appreciate all you guys tapping in. Make sure
Yeah.
you guys head over to the YouTube channel, don't subscribe, turn the notification buttons on so you won't miss any more of this great content moving forward. Follow the TikTok at NBA to the Galaxy Pod. We post a lot of good clips on there just in case you missed the live stream and whatnot. But appreciate all the newcomers tapping in. You guys. It's always fun to engage with the fans too. That would kind of make the pod even more fun. So
Yeah,
yeah.
they can shape the convo. Look how today went, man. You
Yep.
you can take over the show if you want to. So
Yep.
get in the comments.
For sure. Kay Cunningham, man, that guy. So, yeah, but that's pretty much it, man. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. And with that being said, we out. Peace.
Peace, everybody. Appreciate y'all.